What's going on, everyone? Jeremy here from the Quarter, and I feel like I've been on record pretty consistently that I am really completely indifferent about Ghostbusters Afterlife. I understand the original actors are part of it, but the movie's coming too late to me. I was driving home from Chicago this morning, and I was thinking about Ghostbusters Afterlife, and thinking about how it's probably worth giving it a chance as long as I go into the theater thinking this isn't a Ghostbusters movie. Because to be honest, the trailer to me seems like it's a Stranger Things ripoff. I mean, partly because of the actors involved, but also partly because of the aesthetic. I don't really want to see, kids saving the world. That's just not movies for me. That definitely would appeal to a younger generation. Maybe that's who they're tailoring this to. But to me, the original Ghostbusters, they were comedies certainly, but also horrors, I thought. Um Not in the same way that like Michael Myers or Jason Voorhees, legacies are horror films, but I mean, I find there were moments of genuine fear in the original Ghostbusters. Even in the second one, that painting of Vigo still haunts me. So when, Ghostbusters Afterlife was announced, and they gave me all these member berries and said, "Hey, Ivan Reitman, and we're gonna have the right people on this, and it's gonna be loyal to the original." Okay, I've decided I'm going to give the movie a chance, but now I'm very concerned after reading a few articles here. Ghostbusters 2016 influenced Ghostbusters Afterlife story. Now, this is extraordinarily concerning for me because Ghostbusters 2016 is a movie that literally gave me PTSD and is probably the worst thing that's ever happened to modern film. That said, even in terms of, in like canonically, Ghostbusters 2016, they came out and said, "Hey, we're not a part of this. We're not a part of the original Ghostbusters lore. We're not a part of uh the original storyline. We're doing our own thing, which is mostly queef jokes. But hey, the 11 people that saw that movie, they might have liked it. But now, despite the Ghostbusters answer the call, standing as one of the most magnificent cinematic disasters in recent years, Ghostbusters Afterlife director Jason Reitman has somehow managed to pull a a positive aspect from amidst the wreckage. Now, if you remember all the hubbub with Ghostbusters Afterlife, the director came out and blamed fans, attacked men, saying that, well, if you don't see Ghostbusters 2016, then you're a sexist and you're part of the problem. Well, the fact of the matter was, Ghostbusters 2016 was an abomination. Even Melissa McCarthy distanced herself from this film afterwards. I understand wanting to get a paycheck, but this was the assembly of some of the least funny women on the planet being extraordinarily unfunny. And they made sure to have the only male role character in the film a bumbling buffoon. Shocking. Then, when they went to battle with the fandom, all these articles came out. This is always an interesting thing to do when you take a franchise like Ghostbusters or something. And I don't know if Ghostbusters is inherently a movie that is loved by men more than women. It doesn't seem like it would be that case. Maybe it is. But no. First of all, nobody wants an all whatever reboot of whatever. Not just Ghostbusters 2016 or Ghostbusters. Okay? The fact that you did, and you're like, "Hey, we have these terribly unfunny women." It was a recipe from disaster for disaster from the beginning. Speaking to SFX Magazine, by the way, this is via boundingintocomics.com. For the October issue, Reitman asserted that Paul Feig, who's a piece of garbage, directed the 2016 reboot. No, it wasn't a reboot, it was a reimagining. Helped him personally take interest in the idea that the Ghostbusters could be anyone, in which he turned expanded in Ghostbusters Afterlife. While always focusing on the family aspect and the history that was created by the original films, every Ghostbusters film up until now has been the opening of a company, friendship through the window of business, says Reitman. and I wanted to make a movie about family. As has been previously revealed, Ghostbusters Afterlife will follow the family of Dr. Egon Spangler, particularly his grandkids, as they discover the history of the founding Ghostbusters' involvement with the paranormal and fight back against the horrors left over from events of the original film. There's a couple of things that I thought I have a problem with, and I know I'm just being a Ghostbusters stickler, okay? I understand this. Remember how the original Ghostbusters movie made such a big deal about how heavy the proton packs were? Like, they literally, they seem like they weighed 80 pounds or 100 pounds. Now we have somebody who's about 60 pounds soaking wet carrying a proton accelerator pack. I know, fine, I'm just being salty, but okay. However, rather than beginning from a place of profit, anticipation, or outright nostalgia bait, Reitman explained that every story I've ever told began with a character and noted, in the case of Afterlife, it was a 12-year-old standing in a field with a proton pack. At first, I didn't know who she was, he continued. Eventually, I knew she'd be a genius who found the neutrona. The neutrona-1 in her grandfather's basement. I knew her brother would find the Ecto-1 in the barn and go joyriding. Eventually, I realized that she was a Spangler. The Spanglers, Reitman explained, are a single mom and 2 kids, and they are a family that loves one another but struggles to connect. When anyone is born into a family, they arrive in a mystery that started with generations before them, the director said. Part of any life is trying to figure out where you came from and what drama led to your arrival. I don't really think about that ever, do you? I don't know. Maybe I don't think about that. This is the moment in which we find Phoebe and Trevor. Ghostbusters is currently set to release on November 18th, and I am kind of getting excited for it. I don't understand. You look at some of these comments. Is it so hard to understand the secret to Ghostbusters' success in large measure was its cast? It's hard to go wrong when you have Bill Murray and Dan Aykroyd in the same movie, both at the height of their careers. Don't expect much from Ghostbusters movie. You can't get a cast together of that same caliber. It's the same thing with all these remakes. You can't get anything off the ground when you don't have the same kind of talent pool to draw from that they did back in the 70s and 80s. It's actually an excellent point. Excellent point. And yeah, I mean, I do think that this Ghostbusters movie looks like it's made for kids. I don't think that's for me. Will I see it? I don't know. If it's streaming, I'll definitely watch it. But there are other movies that I want to give my money to, that I will support in the cinema. And there are plenty of movies that I'd rather just watch at home. And right now, Ghostbusters Afterlife went from a film that I was fine ignoring to one that I'll definitely at least give a watch. I never had any interest whatsoever in Ghostbusters 2016 like most people, and I wasn't going to be bullied into seeing it. Ghostbusters Afterlife at least is tied to the original universe, but like that previous commenter expertly pointed out, Ghostbusters worked because it had, just an excellent cast. Everybody, there was no wasted cast at all. You can't forget even Sigourney Weaver. You can't forget Rick Moranis, Harold Ramis, everybody. I can't remember the guy's name who plays Winston Zeddemore. Why can't I think of his name? He's awesome. He goes on. He still does the convention circuit. He's awesome with fans. Why can't I think of it? So yeah, I mean, the Gatemaster and Keymaster and Gatekeeper side story was good, but it was great because of the characters that played them. Because Rick Moranis crushed it. Even the secretary. She has, she's got a storyline that leads into the second movie, and she's a great actress. It's like they have an embarrassment of riches in the original Ghostbusters movie. Embarrassment. I don't think there's anybody that sucks in that movie. I mean, Rick Moranis talking about tax code and he has a party, but he's such a loser. He only invites work friends so he can write it off. Like, stuff like that is gold. And like Rick Moranis absolutely crushes that role. So, I don't know that we're ever going to recapture that. And that's just fine. This movie can exist, but I'm definitely on the fence about it. I hope you enjoyed this video. We'll talk to you again real soon.